one and all. Yeah, glad to be with all of you after having been away for 3 weeks at least. So we'll begin as usual with our good afternoon song. And as what I normally do, I will sing it to the tune of Happy Birthday. All right. So good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, my dear friends. I'm glad to see you. Okay. All right. Let me just share my screen. Just give me a moment. Okay. And okay. So for the second jingle, as usual, may I request that you join me, all right, and respond to me when I ask you, how are you? Okay. So yes, looking through the window, who do I see? I see children, children waving at me. Hello, 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 how are you?
I'm fine.
I'm
I'm
fine.
fine. I'm
I'm fine.
fine.
I'm
Thank
fine.
you.
Thank you.
I'm fine too, thank you. All right, great. So today we'll continue with our English lesson. And I understand that last week you all learned about adverbs. Okay, so an example of an adverb could be something like she ran quickly, or mom looked everywhere for her spectacles, and the words quickly, everywhere are examples of adverbs. Uh, and they tell us more about the action verb. All right. So it's how did she run? Well, she ran quickly. All right. Where did mom look for her spectacles? She looked everywhere. Okay. So today we're going to continue the lesson to talk about prepositions. All right. And I would also uh, talk about using context clues in order to help us understand what we are reading better. Let me just bring the annotation on. Just give me a moment. Okay. All right. So let's start with prepositions. Okay, a preposition combines with a noun or a pronoun to show location, movement, or time. So here are some examples. So I could say, I'm going swimming on Saturday. All right. So it helps us to understand if I say, so when am I going swimming? All right. I'm going swimming on Saturday. So it tells us the time. All right. The time. Similarly, I could say, the boy is behind the wall. Well, if I ask the question, where is the boy? We say the boy is behind the wall. So behind is the preposition, okay? And behind the wall, all right, this tells us more about the location. Where is the boy? The boy is behind the wall. Yet another example, where did she walk towards? Well, she walked towards the door. Towards is a preposition, all right? And this tells us something about her movement, all right? Where is she walking? She walked towards the door. One thing that you would notice is all the prepositions like on, behind, towards. These prepositions, they cannot be used on its own. All right, you have to combine it with a noun or a pronoun. So we say on Saturday, behind the wall, towards the door. All right, so we never stop halfway and we don't say, oh, I'm going swimming on and then full stop. All right. It must always be combined with a noun or a pronoun. I cannot say the boy is behind. All right. Behind what? All right. Behind the wall. So there's always a noun there. Okay. So here are some many examples of prepositions. Those that tell us about location, prepositions could include things like in, behind, beside, over, above, etc. Movement, telling us something about the movement, such as onto, into, against, toward. Some examples of prepositions that tell us time can be before, after, during, all right, since, until, etc. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we play a little bit of a detective here. I have given you 10 examples of prepositions in sentences here, but I have color-coded the prepositions in yellow, green, and light blue. See whether you can tell what is the difference, all right? Why did I group them in different colors, all right? So let me just read out these sentences. If you want to, you can also just join me and read along. Okay, the children are playing in a park. Our kite is flying above the trees. A shoe is under the table. Neha lives near a temple. Okay, let me pause there. All right. All these prepositions in yellow, what do they show?
Location.
Location, wonderful. Yes, you are absolutely right. Okay, because earlier on I mentioned that prepositions can tell us something about location. It can tell us something about time or movement. Okay, let's try the next set of examples, the green ones. The cat jumps onto my bed. Kay runs across the road. He is driving dangerously against the traffic. Okay, what do you think these prepositions tell us?
Movements.
Movement. Okay, all right, it's great. That's correct. All right, they tell us something about movement. Okay, and the last few examples, the lesson starts at 4 o'clock. Kay stayed with her uncle when she visited him. Rami traveled during the holiday season. Okay, so what do these prepositions tell us?
Time.
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 Time. Yes, thank you very much. Yes, indeed. All right, so there it goes again. It shows that prepositions can tell us, all right, something about location, about movement, about time. Okay, so let us start with a simple exercise. Okay, we can do this all together. This first exercise, we have 7, 2, 4, 6, 7. We have 7 helping words and we have 7 blanks. So 1 helping word for each blank. Okay, so let's try them together, shall we? The boy jumped blank
Into
the river.
Into the.
Come again.
Into.
Into. Okay, the boy jumped into the river. Very good. Okay, let's try the next one. The dwarf climbed blank the gate.
Over.
Over.
Over. Yes, yes, absolutely correct. Okay, the dwarf climbed over the gate. Let's try the third one. The girl walked blank
Through the
the
forest.
forest.
Through the forest.
Through the forest. Yes, yes. Yes, that's correct. Well done. Okay. The cat was blank the box.
In the box. In the box.
In the box. Okay, I just realized I forgot to show you the example. Okay, the cat was in the box. Okay, next one. It crawled blank the chair.
Under the chair.
Under the chair? Yes. All right, well done. Next, he walked dash the hill.
Across the hill. Across the hill.
Across the hill. Okay, up the hill. Okay. Okay, I must say that sometimes the different prepositions may be used. All right. So they are still correct, but the meaning could be slightly different. So in this example, if we say he walked up the hill, it tells us something about he probably is at the base of the hill and then he moved up. Okay, he walked up. Okay, just now somebody used across, right? He walked across the hill. That may not be wrong either. Okay, the hill may be a very big hill and he might be walking from one part of the hill to another part. And so he walked across the hill. That may not be wrong. Okay, so I just want to highlight sometimes different prepositions can be used, but the meaning is slightly different. Okay, the last one, they walked dash the bridge. They walked
Under the bridge.
across the bridge. Okay, maybe not under, because if you look at the picture here, clearly they are not under the bridge. So what may be another better word, a better
They walked
preposition?
on the bridge. On the bridge.
Across the bridge. I think that's good. Again, they walked on the bridge is not wrong. Okay, it's just that in this particular exercise, you notice that on is not one of the helping words. Okay, but there again, sometimes you are not given helping words. So if you say they walked on the bridge, that's fine. It's correct. Okay, they walked across the bridge. Tell us a little bit more. All right, that they are moving from one end of the bridge to the other end. So they walked across the bridge. Okay, wonderful. Let us take a look at this second exercise. Okay, here we have only 5 helping words, but we have 8 sentences. So some of the helping words would be used more than once. Okay, let's try. Number 1, we always go to New York May. Good. In May. Yes. All right. We always go to New York in May. All right. In December. All right. In January. Okay. We have a meeting 15 April.
On.
On. Okay. So when it is a specific date, all right, we use on. All right. Whereas the earlier example, it can be the whole month of May, any part of May. All right. And we say in the month of May. All right. On 15 April. I always wake up 6 a.m. Yes, very good. All right, I wake up at 6 a.m. Our lessons begin at 4 p.m. Ron has been in the village Monday. What do you think? Ron has been in the village Monday. Did I hear somebody say on? Yeah, that's also correct. That's also correct. Not in Monday, on Monday. All right, on a specific day. Okay, but another possible answer is since. Okay, but the meaning is completely different now. What it's saying is that since Monday, that means from Monday onwards, all right, he already has been in the village and he still is in the village. All right, so he has been in the village for several days now. All right, since Monday, in other words, from Monday onwards. All right, so that's another good preposition to learn. It's his birthday Monday.
Monday.
Okay, I think on will be the best preposition. Well done. Emma will work with them 1 month. What do you think? For 1 month. Okay, so Emma is not going to work with them for very long, just 1 month. All right. He retired October. Some of you mentioned on. Okay, I would suggest not using on, but in. Again, the same reason. You notice that he retired in a certain part of October. It could be, how should I say? If I had changed this example, all right, and I say he retired 2nd October. Then I think a better answer will be he retired on 2nd October. It's on a specific day. But if it is, the whole month, all right, and it can be any day of the month, then we can, a more appropriate preposition will be in. He retired in October, all right? I will be back, dash, an hour.
In and home.
In an hour, very good. All right, so I won't take long. I will come back in an hour. All right. All right, very good. That's a very good exercise. And let's do a couple more. Okay, this time we have 10 helping words and we have 10 sentences. So just like before, sometimes you may find that, hey, 2 or 3 prepositions all look okay, but let us try, all right, and choose the best one, okay, given that every helping word will be used once. All right, let's try this. The balloon flew dash my head. Above. Well done. Correct. The setting sun went
Below.
dash the horizon.
Below. Beside.
Okay. Any other answer besides beside? Because beside means next to. Okay. The horizon. Okay. The sun. When we talk about sunset, the sun will go. What will be a better answer?
Below.
Below the horizon. Okay. The horizon is really the line, right? That where, how should I say, when we see the sun going down and then it slowly disappears below that line, we call that line the horizon. All right, below. My cat was hiding dash my couch.
Behind.
Okay, I heard one of you mention behind. Yeah, I think that's a very good answer. Behind my couch. Although I must say the drawing, we can't quite tell whether is it behind or on or whatever. Okay, my sister was standing dash me and my mom. Beside. Well done. I went to the grocery store dash my dad. With my dad. Right. There is a frog dash my classroom. In. All right. Yes, in my classroom. I live dash the school.
Near.
Yes, good. That's a good answer. The best answer, I think. I live near the school. We couldn't think dash a good song.
Off.
Yes. Yes, well done. All right. We couldn't think of a good song. All right. She got dash the bus. She got to the bus. Okay. Do you notice in the picture, the girl is actually outside, not inside. So she got
Out.
she got off. Yes, she got off the bus. Okay, great. And last but not least, let's go dash the store. Two. Okay, yes. Good, very good. All right, 10 upon 10. All right, so it's not difficult, right? Prepositions. Okay, this one here is is one where we give you lots of helping words, 12 helping words, but there are only 8 sentences. So some of the helping words are not used at all. Let's see whether we can get these right as well. While strawberries were growing dash the roots of the trees. Above. Okay, good. I walked dash the present. Towards. Good. Excellent. Next, we stepped dash the train, impressed with its beauty. Onto. Great. great answer. We stepped onto the train, impressed with its beauty. All right. We pointed dash at the plane. We pointed. All right. We
Up,
use our
up.
up at the plane. Good. Good. All right. So suggesting that we are probably on the ground. All right. We saw a plane passing by. We pointed up at the plane. Number 5. Our dream home is dash a magnificent forest.
About. Amid.
What do you think? Amid. Very good. Amid. All right. In other words, is somewhere inside. All right. Somewhere inside this forest. Okay. Is amid a magnificent forest. We are worried dash her sickness.
Being.
Sorry?
Being.
Being. Which one is that? Being. Do you say something? Let's try again. We are worried her sickness. I am worried dash my homework. I am worried dash the examination. What would be a good preposition? Looking at the helping words here. We are worried. Any try? Sorry?
Over.
Come again.
Over.
Do you say above? Okay, not above, if that's what you meant. Above is about. Yes, about. Very good. Very good. We're worried about her sickness. All right. I'm worried about the examination. Yeah. All right. About something. All right. Great. Okay. Good try there. Number 7. The best friends were sitting dash each other.
Opposite.
Opposite. Yes. Great job there. All right. And of course, last but not least, I ran dash the sprinklers getting wet.
I ran through the sprinklers getting wet.
Yes, I ran through the sprinklers, and that's the only, it makes sense. All right. Very often children love to play, all right, where the sprinklers are. And running through them, all right, and in the process getting wet and having a lot of fun. Okay, good. So for today, all right, that's all where the prepositions are concerned, all right? And what we want to do now is to move on to the comprehension segment. And today we are going to look at the examples of examples of using context clues. All right, to give just a couple more examples. It states here that sometimes when we read, we need to figure out what some words mean. And very often, we can find some clues from the pictures, if there are pictures. All right, but sometimes we can also find clues from other words in the passage. So as an example, if we look at this picture, all right, and we say Jamie's smile looks different now. She lost a, all right, what would a tooth, right? She lost a tooth. Yeah, but what helps you to come to the conclusion that she lost a tooth? How do you guess that?
Her smile is different now.
Yeah, exactly. All right, the word smile, because when we lose a tooth, definitely it will affect how we smile. And of course, this picture itself is a good clue because it shows it, right? She has lost her probably 2 front teeth. Yeah. So, yes, the picture could be a clue, but the word smile would also be a good clue. All right. If she lost a book, that would not have affected how she smiled, I guess, right? So that's what it means by using context clues. Look at the other words in the passage, all right? Okay, so yes, this is what we have mentioned. Okay, so let's let's take a look at a few more examples. All right, still talking about teeth. Let's talk about animal teeth. Dogs and cats are dash that have baby teeth.
Animals.
Animals, right? Definitely. But what tells us that this would be the correct answer? Where is the clue? Where is the clue? What do we know?
Dogs and cats.
Dogs and cats, exactly. All right. So dogs and cats, we all know are animals. All right. They are not bugs. So that has to be the correct answer. Number 2, animals lose their baby teeth too. Then they grow bigger teeth, just like dash do.
People.
People, yes. All right. And where is the clue here? Where is
Grow.
the They grow, yeah, and they grow bigger teeth, right? So we all know that plants don't grow teeth, all right? But people grow teeth, yes. So that would be a context clue. Puppies lose their baby teeth when they are about 12 dash old.
Weeks.
Weeks, obviously, all right? And again, the clue comes from the words when. Old. All this tell us that it has to do with time. All right, time. So weeks will be a good answer. The new teeth
Grow.
grow in. Okay, the new teeth grow in. All right, teeth grow, they don't skip. Okay, so that's what briefly what is meant when we say look for context clues. Now, since we are on the subject of teeth, all right, we'll just do a simple exercise here. All right, there's some helping words given here. People have 2 dash of teeth. Two what?
People have two sets of teeth.
Okay, I heard a correct answer, but I also
Sets of
it's
teeth.
2 sets of teeth. 2 sets of teeth. All right, not 2 mouths of teeth, right? Definitely 2 sets of teeth. All right. Firstly, our baby dash grow in.
Teeth.
Teeth, baby teeth, right? Okay. Baby teeth are usually much smaller. Yeah. As you grow, you need
Bigger.
dash teeth.
Small. Bigger. Bigger.
What will be a good answer here? As you
Bigger.
grow, you need bigger teeth. Yes. All right. So baby teeth are small, but when we grow bigger, all right, we need bigger teeth. One by one, the baby teeth fall out of our
Mouth.
mouth. Yes. And that makes what for the new teeth to grow in?
Room for the
Room.
new teeth to grow.
Right. This makes room for the new teeth to grow in. To make room means to give space. All right, give space for the new teeth to grow in. Okay. If your baby teeth don't drop out, then the new teeth, the bigger teeth, cannot have the space, all right, to grow. Okay, so that's something about teeth. And all right, now what we want to do is, as with most of our lessons, we like to read about some general knowledge. And in the process, we also get to learn some new words. Okay. And so for today, we have chosen to read something about animals. And what we are going to read is actually something that was prepared by some children. Isn't it nice? Nice to read something that is prepared by children. And let's take a look at this. All right, we're going to learn something about animals. Okay. Now, I just want to say that this is not a science lesson, okay, but it's good to learn some new words in the process. And that's the beauty of language. All right. If you learn English, you can learn science, you can learn geography, you can learn more about history using the English language. So this is what we are trying to do. Okay, so we're going to read something about animals. Okay, so I would share this particular slide first, okay, and then later you can join me. All right, what is an animal? An animal is a living organism that eats and moves, okay, and there are different animal groups such as birds, okay. An example of a bird could be a parrot. Reptiles. An example of reptile could be a crocodile, can be a snake, a lizard, okay. And we have mammals like lions, tigers, and I do not know whether you recall in one of my earlier lesson, we talked about whales, all right? And whale is an example of mammal. Okay, then we have fish, okay, all kinds of fishes, amphibians, amphibians such as frogs, toads, and then we have insects. An example could be grasshopper, maybe the mosquito, all right, the bee, and so on. So we have different animal groups. Now, oh, interestingly, yeah, let me go back. Huh? Okay, if you look at these animal groups, which animal group do you and I belong to? What's your guess?
Mammals. Mammals.
Mammals. Well done. All right, well done. So you therefore would know what are the differences between mammals and the rest. So here we have how animals are classified. There are some descriptions, and I think what I would do is I would invite maybe different students to read just the descriptions, all right, for one animal group. Okay, so just to also at the same time recognize words and to practice your reading. Who would like to just kickstart? Maybe to read mammals? Okay, all right. All right, could you? Yes, go on.
Mammals have hair or fur, give birth, have lungs, vertebrate, warm-blooded.
Warm-blooded. Warm-blooded. All right. Very good. Thank you. All right. Thanks for volunteering. Yes, mammals have hair or fur, just like we have hair. Lions have fur. Yeah. We give birth to young. All right. We have lungs. Vertebrate. Vertebrate means animals that have backbones. All right. Backbones. Warm-blooded. Okay. Now, what do you mean by warm-blooded? You mean our blood is warm? Okay, warm-blooded in the sense that we are one of those creatures that are able to maintain a constant body temperature, regardless of how hot or how cold, the outside temperature is. So say, for example, maybe the temperature outside right now, let's say it's 33 degrees Celsius. But what is our body temperature? It's always around 36, 37 degrees Celsius. All right. So we are able to generate body warmth. We're able to generate body heat, okay, and keep ourselves at a certain temperature, body temperature, okay? So we are considered as warm-blooded, okay? Okay, let's have another one to read reptiles. Anybody? Just volunteer?
Omen.
Oh, okay, all right. Yes, Omen?
See, scaly skin and air holes.
Mm.
Lay eggs.
Mhm.
4 legs or no legs. Live on land or water.
Mhm.
Vertebrate.
Vertebrate.
Cold.
Blooded.
Blooded.
Blooded. Cold-blooded. The word comes from blood. B-L-O-O-D. Blood. You know our blood? When we cut ourselves, blood oozes out. Blood. So cold-blooded. warm-blooded. All right. Okay, very good. Thanks, Omer. Okay, so we have reptiles that have scaly skin, legs. Some have no legs. Some have 4 legs. Okay, examples such as a snake has no legs. Okay, the tortoise has 4 legs. They can live on land and water. All right, they have backbone. They are cold-blooded, so they cannot generate their own body heat. Now, moving along, you notice that the next type of animal group called amphibians, they are like reptiles because they also can live on land and water. You notice that? Okay, so let's find out a little bit more about amphibians. All right, can someone help us with this? Someone to read?
Duliti
Duliti, yes, thank you.
live on land water, have webbed feet, land eggs, born with gills, then grow long legs.
Very good. Okay, all right. So key differences between reptiles and amphibians is that the reptiles have scaly skin and the skin is actually dry, all right, dry. But amphibians, all right, their skin is moist. In other words, it's wet, all right. So that's one of the differences. Yeah. But you'll notice that they have a lot of similarities, right? Uh, they are uh, they are vertebrates. What else? They live on land and water. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And in fact, both of them are cold-blooded. In fact, if you want to remember something, only mammals and birds are warm-blooded. All the others are cold-blooded. All right. So only mammals and birds are warm-blooded. Okay. All right. Next, fish. Can someone read for us? Fish? Anybody? Just volunteer. Yes. Can I have someone? Don't worry. If you have difficulty, I will help you along.
Omen?
Omer, you have tried just now. Maybe you wait for a while for your turn again. Let's give a chance to others. Anybody else? Let me see. Is Dilansa here? Dilansa, are you here? No? Okay. Did I hear someone? Ruwani. Is it Ruwani? Yes. Can you? Okay.
Live in water, lay eggs, girls, scalers, or friends,
Okay. Have
blooded,
cold-blooded and
blood.
vertebrate. Yeah. Very good. Thanks. Thanks for trying. Yeah. Okay. So we all are familiar with fish, right? They lay in water. Live in water. They lay eggs. They breathe through their gills. Yeah. They have fins. They have scales. They're cold-blooded and they are vertebrate. All right. Okay. So we have birds. Okay. Any volunteer? If not, maybe Omer, you want to help us out again?
Only birds have feathers, 2 legs, have wings, no teeth, lay eggs.
Very good. Okay, thank you. So only birds have feathers, all right, that make them very distinctive. And like I said before, only mammals and birds are warm-blooded. Okay, last but not least, insects. Okay, I will read this part, all right? Our insects generally have 6 legs. they have wings, they lay eggs, they go through metamorphosis, and they are cold-blooded. All right. Metamorphosis is a big term, but it simply means they go through a certain life cycle, all right, from eggs, and then they become larva to pupa, and then to the adult bee. So metamorphosis. Okay. So these are the various animal groups, and I would also like to introduce the word habitat. Habitat. Okay, maybe you can read along with me. Habitat. Could y'all read it together? Habitat. Are you there? Let's read together. Habitat.
Habitat. What
Good.
are organisms?
What are organisms?
Organisms.
Organisms are organisms.
Plants
Animals and fungi are living things.
Okay, very good. Okay, so you have read what organisms are. They are all living things. Can be animals, can be plants, can be fungi. All right, and here they introduce what is a habitat. Habitat is actually the place where the animal or the plant lives. All right, and it's really how should I say, it provides the animal or the plant with the necessary food, the shelter, all right, and there are lots of examples. So if you look around in your school, for instance, on the field, in the pond, these are all examples of habitats. And again, all right, these are further examples. The Arctic region, very, very cold. All right, it's snowy, it's ice all year round. But yet, all right, the polar bears live there. All right, they survive there. Okay, they grow there. So the Arctic is a habitat for the polar bears. Similarly, we may say, wow, the desert is so dry, there's no water, it's so hot, but yet we know that cacti grow well in the desert. All right, this is cacti. Singular, if it's just one, we say cactus. Many, we say cacti. All right, C-A-C-T-I, cacti. Okay, the seashore is a good example of a habitat for sea creatures. Okay, the crabs and so on. The woodland is a habitat for birds. All right, so what then is a habitat, or what must a habitat provide? Okay, because these animals or plants that survive, that grow in the habitat, they need water, they need food, they need shelter. All right, they need some kind of protection, they need oxygen. All right, and if it's an animal, they need a mate for reproduction. That's for animals. For plants to survive in any habitat, they would need light, water, carbon dioxide from the air to make food, all right, and minerals from the soil. All right, and one of the very interesting things about plants and animals is that they have this great ability to adapt in order to live in a certain habitat. So just as an example, if we look at the Arctic region just now, we say it's so cold, all right, it's snowing all the time, all right. How can anybody survive there? But yet we know the polar bears grow very well there. And that's because the polar bears adapt to that habitat. Okay, so for example, they grow very thick layer of fur in order to keep themselves warm. All right, so that's one adaptation. Another example is that you notice that polar bears are white in color. The furs are white. All right, it's so white that they look like snow. Why? So that any other animals that want to attack the polar bear, they thought that it is snow. All right, so it provides camouflage for them. The word here is camouflage. So this is just an example. And if we look at plants, for instance, in the desert, no water. all right? But yet the cacti grew well there. How? How do they manage to do it? You look at the cacti plant here, you notice that the stem is very fat and very big. Why? Because they use this fat stem to store water, all right, so that they can have water even though, the desert land is dry. All right, and you'll notice that there's a lot of spikes, a lot of thorns, a lot of sharp thorns there. Yeah. Well, why do they have it? To protect themselves, so that animals, if they want to eat it, all right, they will avoid eating it because it's painful. All right, it's sharp. So this is an example of adaptation. All right. Further examples of adaptation, you notice that if, let's say, it's very cold in the Arctic region, what happens? Some of the birds actually fly away during certain cold months and fly to warmer regions in the world. Okay, so we call this migration. All right, they fly away. Some of the animals, they hibernate. So they don't move, all right? They don't run about. They just keep still in order to not to lose energy, all right? Because food is hard to get by. We can have animals that grow thick furs, all right, to keep themselves warm. Okay, another example here, they may even change their diet. They may change what they usually eat in order to survive. Maybe in certain seasons, there's not enough food, so they eat something else. All right, so that's what it means. And here I would like to introduce 3 terms. All right. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. Okay, 3 terms. All right. Carnivores, herbivores, and omnivores. All right. A carnivore is an organism that eats meat. They eat other animals. Herbivore eats plants. Omnivores eats plants and animals. So a very good example is we all, human beings, all right? Human beings are omnivores because we can eat plants, we can also eat meats. All right, so let us learn to practice pronouncing these 3 new words. Okay, shall we all read together? Carnivores. Together, carnivores.
Carnivores.
Very good. Try again.
Organisms that
Carnivores.
eat animals.
That's right. All right, let's read again. Carnivores.
Carnivores.
Very good. Herbivores.
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 Very good. Omnivores.
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 Okay, so we are omnivores. All right. Okay, so those are 3 new terms. If you have not come across them before, okay, and one of the let me just check one of the new words that I like to introduce today, all right, in relation to what we have been talking about is the word food chain, all right? A food chain is a series of organisms, each dependent on the next as a source of food. So let me give an example, all right? So if we look at grass, grass is a source of food for the grasshopper. In other words, the grasshopper eats the grass, okay? But the grasshopper in turn is eaten by the frogs. It becomes a source of food for the frogs. The frog themselves is a source of food for the snake. The snake eats the frogs, all right? And the snakes in turn are eaten by the hawks, the eagles, and so on, all right? And when these eagles or hawks, when they die, all right, the fungi, okay, which looks a bit like mushrooms, the fungi will then draw nutrients from the dead hawk. We call this decomposing, all right? So the fungi will draw nutrients from the dead hawks or dead other dead animals as well. Okay, so we call this whole thing a food chain because each is dependent on the next as a source of food. All right, the fungi depends on the hawk depends on the snake depends on the frog depends on the grasshopper depends on the grass. Okay, so this is called a food chain. All right. Okay, so just to wrap up, all right, what we have been talking about animals, we say that, in a sense, all animals are alike because we have certain needs. We need food, we need air, we need water. And we can do certain things. We can move to find food, we move to get away from danger. All animals have babies, all right? We have a body and also a body covering, whether it's in the form of skin, scales, fin, whatever. Animals also need homes as a shelter to sleep for safety. And these are some of the animal homes, all right? The bees, for example, live in the hives. What else? We have some animals that live in caves, others live in logs, all right? Fishes and so on, they live in the water and so on and so forth. All right, so now we come to the last segment for the day. We still have 7 minutes, and that's where we would have an opportunity to do a short story, and we will have 4 of you to try this out. Okay, so one of you will be the first narrator, another person will be the second narrator, one will be a city mouse, and the last 4th person will be the country mouse. Okay, city mouse means the mouse who live in the city. All right, country mouse is a mouse that lives in the countryside. Okay, so may I have 4 volunteers, please?
Teacher, may Sinali, please?
Sinali, yes. Okay, you will be narrator number 1. Okay, number 2, who would like to be narrator number 2? Uditya, yes, okay. All right. City Mouse, who would like to take on the role? City Mouse? Who would like to be the City Mouse? Yes?
Sruani.
Okay, yes, all right, good. And the 4th one, Country Mouse. Who else hasn't read something today? Maybe you could try. How about Ruwani? Ruwani, are you there? Can you be the Country Mouse? Oops. Let me see. I might have lost some of you. Anybody? Tashani? Okay, Tashani, can you help us?
Yes, teacher.
Oh, okay, very good. All right. So let us start. All right, narrator 1. You start
Once,
first.
once upon a time, a country mouse lived in a hole at the bottom of the tree.
Narrator 2.
The country mouse had a cousin who lived
Oops, sorry. Carry on. The country mouse has.
The country mouse had a cousin who lived in a house in the city. One day, the city mouse came to visit his country cousin. The country mouse was glad to see him.
Okay. Country mouse.
Welcome, cousin. I am so glad to see you. I have breakfast on the table.
Okay. City mouse.
Thank you, cousin. What shall we eat?
It is a good meal of nuts and seeds.
The mice had a nice chat. Soon it was time for lunch.
Here you got. It is a good meal of nuts and seeds. The mice went for a walk in the woods. they came back to the dinner.
What shall we eat?
Country mouse?
You will love it. It is a good made of nut and sealed.
Very good. Okay. All right. So if you follow the story, actually it is quite funny. All right. The country mouse, what for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, what did the country mouse prepare for the city mouse? What do they eat? Nuts and
Nuts and seeds.
seeds, yes, and it's always nuts and seeds for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, and that's what the country mouse eats. Okay, one word here that we all need to take note of. This word is cousin. Cousin. All right. So the children of your father and mother, okay, are your cousins. All right. Sorry, did I say the children? Sorry, your uncle, all right, your uncle, your auntie, all right, the children, their children are your cousins, all right, cousin, all right, pronounce cousin. Okay, I think let us read this one more time, all right, same people, okay, this time I will not stop you, so you just carry on reading, starting with the first narrator. Narrator 1. Where is my narrator 1?
Once upon a time, a country mouse lived in a hole at the bottom of the tree.
Good.
The country mouse had a cousin who lived in a house in the city. One day, the city mouse came to visit his country cousin. The country mouse was glad to see him. Welcome, cousin. I am so glad to see you. I have breakfast on the table. Thank you, cousin. What shall we eat? It is a good meal of nuts and seeds. The mice had a nice chat. Soon it was time for lunch. Here you go. It is a good meal of nuts and seeds. The mice went for a walk in the woods. They came back to the hole for dinner. What shall we eat? You will love it. It is a good meal of nuts and seeds.
Carry on. Or did I miss some of you? Narrator 2, the mice went for a walk in the woods. They came back to the hole for dinner. What shall we eat? You will love it. It is a good meal of nuts and seeds. Okay, all right. For lack of time, we'll probably have to end here, but I just want to highlight once again, this word is pronounced cousin. Cousin, all right? All right, so just take note of this. All right, so I think I'm sure we'll have more opportunities to practice reading in the next round. Okay, so let us sing the goodbye song. Could you all help me with this so that we will end the session properly?
Goodbye. Our English
class is over. Goodbye. See you.
See you.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Yes, indeed. All right. See all of you once again. Thank you very much. All right. And see you on next week. All right. Let me